After 6 days and 6 games in the English Premier League, Manchester United have recorded just 2 wins, 1 draw and 3 shameful defeats, scoring just 1 goal in Old Trafford and losing by 6 goals to 0 across 2 games with Liverpool and Tottenham. This is the story of Erik ten Hag, who have constantly told Manchester United fans all over to trust the process. How long will the fans be patient? And how long will this poor run of form continues? Only time will tell. A fantastic Monday morning to you. Welcome to Signature Sport on Signature Television. My name is Franklin Imona and today is the last day in the month of September 2024. I hope the month have treated you just fine. On the show this morning, a lot for us to discuss from the Nigerian Premier Football League to the games that went across all the European scene from the English Premier League as well as the Spanish La Liga. It was the Madrid Derby as well as the Italian League. All of these we will be discussing on the show today, and if time permits, we will give you updates in the world of boxing as well as tennis, golf and cycling. Welcome to the show, and on the show today I've got my usual partner. This time he joins me on the show so much to X-ray, I must tell you, Jeffrey Obrigado. I love to call him RC. He joins me on the show. A very good morning to you, Obrigado.
Good morning, good morning. It's a beautiful morning.
How was the weekend?
The weekend was really fun, but you know, a lot of titanic run when it comes to some high-profile clubs in the EPL, and a lot of good deeds when it comes to the MPFL. It was really amazing and it was really fun. And the derby between Real Madrid versus Atletico was really fun to watch, and a lot of chaotic pandemonium and a lot of chaos around the game, but it was really fun actually.
Mr. Jeffrey, if I allow you, you will go on and on and on as usual, ready to dissect, ready to analyze every single topics, or better still, games we will be looking at this morning. All right, let's delve into the show proper as we begin from the world of women's sport. It was indeed a weekend of a colorful display as 30 women has finally bagged the CAF coaching license. Permit me to say it is a breath of fresh air for our female coaching. You look at our female coaching in Nigeria, it has not really yielded so much because we have little women in the game of football. But right now, about 30 of them ready to roar. Should we say uhuru for the NFF, or should we say it's one of those things that will go nowhere?
No, a lot of encouragement when it comes to the female football. You know, football now is taking into its next level, and women are being encouraged to go into the game, especially in Africa, and Nigeria is not left behind. And it is good for us to see our women coming out to see if they can be able to impact into the younger generation and the younger female. So it's absolutely fantastic.
Now you look at those women that went into several rounds of coaching courses. They had the part A that lasted for about 3 weeks, and then they went on a recess, came back, did some physical training, went for a recess as well, and they also had a couple of examinations. They also gave him some low-profile games from the grassroots football to officiate to see how good, or better still, how well they have learned in the classroom. And right now we can say we have about 30 coaches that have officially bagged the CAF license. What it means is that we might be seeing female coaches in the NWFL, that is the Nigerian Women Football League.
That's it.
We might be seeing also women coaches coaching out the women team in Nigeria, from the Flamingos as the Falconets.
Absolutely, because women football, we need a lot of female into the game, because before it was being left behind, like only the male coaches are given opportunities, leisure opportunities to take over the game for female football. But this is an encouraging prospect. And if you check the 30 coaches that are there, a lot of younger coaches are being employed when it comes to the women coach football federation, and it's really good. Absolutely, it's really good.
Alright, we continue to encourage the Nigerian Football Federation for this milestone that they have actually climbed, talking about women football These are the kinds of things we want to see, and trust us, we will always talk about it. When it comes to beautiful things in sport, that is what Signature Sport stands for. And away from that, let's talk about the one that went down over the weekend. Still, permit me to say, in the last 48 hours, where Coach Austin Eguavoen has come out to declare that they are ready to beat Libya twice. So he's looking at maximum 6 points in the game between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and, of course, the Desert Foxes of Libya. We will be going into the international break anytime soon. And up next is a double header for Super Eagles.
The momentum is high. The momentum is high. You know, the confidence is there for Coach Austin Eguavoen. He has been given that vote of confidence from both the NFF and the players. So it is a high momentum for both the coaches, the assistant coaches, and others backroom staff on the Super Eagles. And Libya is going to see the hell out of Nigerian football
you think so?
team. Yeah, I'm telling you, absolutely.
A couple of days ago, the new Libyan coach he unveiled about 28 players already for the team that will battle the Super Eagles. What it clearly indicates is that Libya is battle ready.
I don't think so. When it comes to football in Africa, Nigeria remains the giant of Africa. Though a lot of shenanigans into the and our team, but I know that definitely Nigeria is going to swipe up Libya.
Okay, let's put it this way. Coach Austin Eguavoen have just been announced as the permanent coach for the Super Eagles. Up next for him is what I just mentioned earlier, a double-header against Libya. Are you seeing it as a man who is speaking out of confidence that yes, he has got what it takes, or he might just be speaking out of the result of a new contract that he has signed, which means that he's now the official coach of the Super Eagles? Should it be he's speaking out of should I say expertise, more or less like he has what it takes, or he's just speaking out of happiness?
He has been there before, so it's not like something that is going to put him under lot of ecstasy when it comes to this job and contract they've given to him. He has been there before. I'm telling you, he's confident enough. Our boys in Europe, they are on fire. Victor Boniface is on fire. Victor Osimhen scored 2 goals at the weekend. He's on fire. We have Ademola Lookman on fire. He will be on fire. So the momentum is high for these boys. I don't see Libya. I have never dreamt of Libya holding Nigeria into a goalless draw or a draw. Nigeria is going to get the 2 games back to back. Trust me.
2 games back to back. According to Obrigado, do you share the same sentiment with him? If you do, why not drop a comment on our YouTube channel? Why not also drop a comment all across our social media handle? Let us know your thought on Coach Austin Eguavoen's confidence that he's going to get 6 points off the Desert Foxes of Libya. All right, away from the Super Eagles, let's come now to the to our own league, the number 5th ranked league in Africa, the Nigerian Premier Football Leagues. Games went all across the federations, from the east down to the south, from the north to the west. We had games all over, but 2 games for me stood out. What? Rivers United, coached by Finidi George, got the last laugh against Enyimba Football Club, coached by Coach Yemi Olarewajo. 2-0. It ended in favor of Rivers United, and Rivers United looking good to challenge Remo Stars, who are still unbeaten so far in the NPFL this season. What's your take concerning Rivers United and Enyimba Football Club?
That's the boss versus his boy. You understand? He was there before. He was the assistant coach to Finidi George when he was at Enyimba, and I know Rivers United, they are playing fantastic football this season, and they are really up the track when it comes to the league. And Coach Finidi George want to prove a point to Nigerians in this Premier League that it's not just a fluke. I won it at Enyimba. It's not a fluke. I'm going to do it again in Rivers. But mind you, Remo Stars, they are playing fantastic football. I told you before.
We will definitely come to
it's a challenge for Coach Finidi George to try to prove to Nigerians that he is the man. I'm telling you.
Now, let's talk about Remo Stars. 2-1 win against defending champions Enugu Rangers. Coach Fidelis Ilechukwu is not having it nice with his team. Remember, a couple of days ago, they were knocked out of the continent, that's the CAF Champions League, by SD Sagranda, where they were knocked out by 3-2 aggregate wins. And now, though they won Ikorodu City by a lone goal in their last game, and that fell away to Remo Stars. Remo Stars are looking like the team to be beaten this season.
Definitely. Remo Stars are absolutely fantastic. I told you before, one of my best team in the league because they play fantastic football. They have a structure, they keep the structure, they maintain the players, and they inculcate young footballers into the team. So their build-up play when it comes to football structure in the league is fantastic. I'm telling you, Remo Stars are so far the best team in the league, and we should watch out for Remo Stars.
Coach Daniel Ogumodede, the coach of Remo Stars, has personalized the 4-3-3 formation, and he has become a master of that formation. He has played 5 games, won all. He has not lost a game. Who can defeat Remo Stars in your own books?
Well, for now, it's only Coach Finidi that can challenge Remo Stars. He wants to try to take the boom by the horn, tell them that I'm the main man when it comes to this league. So about that, Remo Stars, their structure, they play traditional football, footballing style of play, 4-3-3. That's an attacking formation for the league. For a league like Nigerian Football League, playing an attacking football, maintaining that pattern and style of play, it's absolutely fantastic. I'm telling you, the academy is out of this world. If you watch Remo Stars Academy, then you know what I'm trying to talk about, and the way they inculcate the young generation into the senior cadre, it's really fantastic to see. I'm telling you.
Absolutely. Remo Stars is one of the few clubs that is privately owned and run in the Nigerian Premier Football League. Could this be the reason why this team is doing so well? I think you know the answer. But now let's look at Katsina United and Lobby Stars. That's the biggest winner over the weekend. 3-0 in favor of Katsina United. What's happening to Lobby Stars? Someone said over the weekend to me that due to the fact that Lobby Stars are not playing in their natural ground at the Sami Apiaku Stadium right there in Benue State, about 2 seasons now they have been playing away from home. That might be the reason why Lobby Stars is not doing well. Could that be for you?
Definitely. You know, the fans are always there to cheer you up, are always there to give a rising up, giving you a momentum and a push so that you can be able to get your result done. But playing away from your fellow fans, away from your real fans, it's giving you a little bit messy attitude and the characters of the player, the kind of pitch, the kind of terrain, all those factors are involved when it comes to you playing outside your stadium. And definitely kudos to Katsina United. They were fantastic. And you know, the league, I told you, there's been a change, a transformation into the league whereby a lot of teams now are confident because there's no longer all those loopholes that they used to see, all those threats and all those stuff. So the league is fantastic. If you play good football now in Nigerian Premier League, you get your results. Definitely.
Absolutely. You get the result, but one team is not getting the result. 3 defeats, 1 draw. And that is not your own Atlant, but Ikorodu City, a team that just gained promotion to the NPFL. They have not won a game. You can call them the whipping boys in the league so far. They haven't won a single game. Should we be saying bye-bye to Ikorodu City just early?
No.
Or we still have time?
No.
Because the league, according to some people, it's a marathon.
Definitely, it's a marathon because the competition is high. The high level of competitiveness in the league is very high. But I told you before, Ikorodu City, they are playing fantastic football. Give them.
They are not winning.
No, they are not winning. Just give them patience. It's time. It's a new factor. They are coming into a league for a long period of time. You understand? So just trust the process. Give them time because they just played few matches. So after 10 games, then we can be able to judge them if they are going to go far or not. But for now, they are playing good football. It's just for them to get into the cutting edge, the final third. The last game I watched, the final third, the pass from the final third. They just need that inch from just the final between the midfield and the attack just to get it done. So with time, they are going to come back.
And time is not in the hands of Ikorodu City because as they are losing points, other teams are also gaining points. Right. Now, finally, let's talk about Atlant of Owerri, coached by our own darling Emmanuel Amunike. But he has been winless in 4 games, 3 defeats and 1 draw. He has conceded 7 goals and scored just 2 goals, with one of those 2 goals coming against Rivers United, where they lost by 3-1. Can Amunike rescue Atlant
Well,
from relegation.
Amunike is a fantastic manager. You understand? You know the factor. They changed a lot of players. You cannot change a lot of players.
30 players for the record.
I'm telling you.
Heartland Owerri of our Heartland Football Club had 30 new players this season.
Definitely. So you can't change that kind of player and you expect results. You need patience. Amunike need patience. But Heartland Football Club, well, for the main period of time, they just need to be patient enough. They play good football, but they need patience. You can't change that team like that and you expect results. This is absolutely not heard of. So you just have to give them time to get into the ball, get into the swinging process. And I believe in Coach Amunike. He has done it before and we have seen him do this particular thing again. So definitely with time, they are going to come out from where they are.
All right. Looking at the league table, the top 5 teams, we have Remo Stars sitting at the top of the league, followed by Rivers United. Niger Tornadoes comes at 3rd, and we have Sunshine Stars of Akure sitting at the 4th position, tied with the same point, with the same numbers of goals scored and conceded with Castina United. No place for Eimba, no place for Abia Warriors, no place for Kano Pillars, surprisingly, and no place for Bendel Insurance. Do you see this team I just mentioned sneaking their way into the top 4 or top 5? Or you are seeing the NPFL end this way with Remo Stars, Rivers United, Niger Tornadoes, and Sunshine Stars making the top 4? Or we should be open for changes?
And definitely open for changes. Sunshine United, they are coming back into where they belong because they've been deaf in Nigerian Premier League. They've dominated the league before, so and they've been having a lot of crackers when it comes to the league. But this is a play for Sunshine United to come back into their level where they belong. Definitely, I see Enyimba Football Club coming into that position, dragging it. Abia Warriors, they are playing good football too. I see the other team from I think it's Castina United. So they are playing good football. So I see a lot
they
of
won 3-0.
Definitely a little changes is going to come into play. But you see Rivers United and you see Remo Stars, those guys are ready to stay there for a long period of time.
Coach Finidi George is ready to prove a point. He couldn't win the La Decimal with Eimba last season. He lost the league about 4 games to go. He lost it scandalously to Enugu Rangers, and it didn't do well during his short stay with the Super Eagles. Perhaps he's looking at the NPFL 2024-2025 season to compensate his hard work. Only time will tell. And before we move out of the shores of Africa, let's go to the big one that went down over the weekend. Permit me to say on Friday in particular, where Zamalek took on Al Ahly in the CAF Super Cup, our own version of the UEFA Europa Super Cup. For the 3rd time in a row, it went to Saudi Arabia. I mean, 3rd times are where Super Cups, especially the UEFA Champions League Super Cup, it was played in Saudi Arabia. We also had the Copa del Rey final played in Saudi Arabia, and now the CAF Super Cup played in Saudi Arabia. Before we look at the game proper, Saudi Arabia, is that a new home of football?
That's where money is.
It's all about money.
When you talk football, when you talk sport, you talk financial implicit. And Saudi Arabia, they are able to come into sport. They want to invest into sport. They want to make sure that their fans, their people love and enjoy sport, and especially football. So that is the place where whereby you can be able to get financial help from sponsors. A lot of things are going down in Saudi Arabia. So when it comes to football especially, you need finance.
I cannot argue with you because WWE has gone to Saudi Arabia. We have the Saudi Grand Prix in Formula 1 going to Saudi Arabia. We also had a couple of boxing games being moved to Saudi Arabia. Perhaps one of these days or very soon, Signature Television will move to Saudi Arabia, where the money is as well as the fancies. Don't you think so, Mr.
No, definitely is important.
We should go there.
You should definitely. You should go there.
Now let's talk about the game proper. Zamalek, champions of the CAF Champions League, and Al Ahly, the champions of the CAF Confederation Cup. And it went down over the weekend where Zamalek actually won that fiercely contested match. It ended 1-1 full time and it went into penalties. 4 goals to 3, Zamalek took the day. Football returning to North Africa yet again.
Actually, football is always in North Africa. Let's just not look at it as if football is not in North Africa. They've been there for decades. They've been dominating this game for decades because they understand structure when it comes to football. You can't play football. It's not like a magic. It's a process. You have to follow a process. And these are North African teams. They have the process and they maintain on the process. Nothing shakes them. They keep on the process and they maintain it. And this is a derby of the Egyptian Premier League. And Zamalek has been trying tooth and nail to bring down Al Ahly for a long period of time. In their league, Al Ahly said they cannot be able to allow Zamalek to touch that trophy. So it's like a revenge from Zamalek to Al Ahly, because this is the only opportunity for Zamalek to prove a point that they can be able to fight back Al Ahly and get a trophy. And it was really a thrilling game. Samuel Eto'o was there, Yaya Toure was there. It was massive, and that game was thrilling that I enjoyed it because I wanted Zamalek to win. It's been a long time that Al Ahly have been there for a long period of time.
They are the most successful club team in history of African football. They are the most successful team when it comes to continental glory. They are the most successful team when it comes to the Egyptian league. And for Zamalek to prove a point by dethroning Al Ahly, it shows that Al Ahly can be beaten.
Definitely. If we're talking about Al Ahly, you know, these are historical teams. These are teams that have been there. They've been there when you're talking about first 5 teams in the world that have got the highest trophy in the world. First 10 teams, Al Ahly is there. So definitely, so I want a challenge in that league because some people say financial might, the federation are trying to sponsor them, the Egyptian bank are trying to fund them because they are being able to replicate season after season how their success is there. So definitely it's suiting and really thrilling that Zamalek Football Club had the edge over Al Ahly at the weekend.
All right, let's put it this way. You look at the African Cup of Nations, Egypt are the most successful team with the highest number of trophies, 7 trophies, followed by Cameroon, and then you have Ghana, and then you have Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire with 2, and other nations are following. Also, when it comes to club football, the North African team as well are the most successful teams. What is it they are doing right that other parts of Africa are not doing well? You look at the North African team, you look at the West African team, the Southern African team, you look at the East African teams, they do not come close to the North African teams. You have the Al Ahly, you have the Zamalek, you have the Raja Casablanca, you have the Esperance of Tunisia, and all of them, when or what should other leagues and other parts of Africa do in order to match up with the North Africa in just 1 minute?
First of all, structure. I told you about structure. Keep on the structure. In every phase of life, you need a process. Maintain your process and stay on the structure. Secondly, you need funding. You need funding into the league. You have to fund your league. Fund your league and believe in your league. You have the talent, you need to fund the league. Then you have a little bit of inculcating the youth. Let there be academy in your league. So the academy will give you a propaganda, like a propelling into the next phase of your league. Yes, you transit into the next phase of the league. So you need structure, you need funding, you need your academy to be very strong. Then the payment when it comes to the players is very important and paramount. You need the condition, a right condition for the players to play so that they cannot be able to look up to Europe, because when you go to North Africa they pay them very well.
Absolutely.
So yes, they don't need the level of say I want to play in Europe because they are tax free. In Africa you don't pay a lot of tax in Africa, so you have a lot of rendition to enjoy your league and enjoy your money, get paid well and play good football. So when you have these things in play, it is lacking in West Africa. Their funding is bad. Then the 5th aspect is facility. You need the facility in your league so that a lot of young generation will be able to access these facilities and have hope and dream to play in the league. We are in Africa, we are in West Africa. Will you have such all these parameters I told you about? It is difficult. Only Southern Africans they have this thing, especially South Africa. But now they are not taking the league serious. They don't have the level of youth academy to inculcate them. They don't have the level of exporting players. You understand? Trying to promote your league into the next phase. So these are the things that you need in your league so that you can be able to compete.
You look at the North African teams, first of all, well said, Mr. Jeffrey. That is so extensive in terms of what other parts of Africans can do to match up what the North Africans are currently doing. You look at the North Africans, it is just not one country. It is the entire five top nations that makes up the North African the North Africans, from Morocco to Egypt to Libya to Tunisia. Tunisia, and of course to what? Algeria. We have those 5 nations doing well. We continue to track all the updates from the African scene. But before we continue, let's go on this short break. When we return, we will be moving straight to the foreign scene where so much went down. We will be telling you the latest player that set an APL record over the weekend and what's up with Victor Osimhen. All these and many more learning in the second half of the show. Don't touch your dial. Don't change the channels too. We will definitely return. Alright, welcome back to the second half of your sports show on Signature Sport. My name is Franklin Imona. In case you are just joining us, you missed the first half of the show, but not to worry, we will keep you up to speed with what we've discussed so far. While we continue in the second half, we'll discuss about Coach Austin Eguavoen boasting that he will get all 6 points against Libya, and we also discuss the huge step by the NFF after the 30 women coaches were confirmed with the CAF C coaching license. We did discuss extensively concerning the Nigerian Premier Football League, as well as the big one that went over the weekend between Zamalek and Al Ahly. Now you know what we've discussed so far. I've still got my guest analyst, a sport journalist, and of course a sport lover with high reportage, Mr. Jeffrey Obrigado. I love to call him RC. He has been with me on the show. Alright, Mr. Jeffrey, let's move over now to the foreign scene just the way we promised our viewers. Where should we start from? I want to start from the Turkish Super League, where Victor Osimhen finally broke the jinx and he recorded his first goal of the season for his new club, Galatasaray. He got a brace in that game, and at some point his team were leading by 3-0, but football happened and it ended 3-3.
Definitely, that game was really saddened. Because Victor Osimhen was on top notch on that game. He was like a menace when it comes to that match versus Kenneth Omeru's club. It was really thrilling for him to watch. I was really blessed because I wanted him to score, and this is a really proof that Osimhen has found his form, because the second goal he scored was really fantastic, and it was really a thrilling goal. But at the end, you know, he got a knock, and he was really trying. They tried to manage him so that he cannot be able to go out on a long period of time. But that is football. You see somebody winning 3-0 and you just, the bookies, I don't know what they do. They just get you pained. They just want to break your heart. I don't know. But that's football. There's nothing I have to say. It's football.
Kasim Pasa had to come from 3 goals down to pull a surprise to draw Victor Osimhen's Galatasaray 3-3. It ended, but that did not stop Galatasaray. They still sit at top of the Turkish Super League table. But another game in the Turkish Super League that recorded a high scoring margin was a game between Trabzonspor and Göztepe. It ended 4-3, 7 goals of thriller in that one. Should we brace up for goals galore all season long in the Turkish Super League, or should we just say it was a weekend of flukes where goals were scored?
It's a football traditional country where goals are always scored. Turkey, if you follow Turkish league, they love scoring goals. It's a scoring spray when it comes to the league. So you cannot wait at any time that you will not expect goals. It's only few times in the week or in the match day fixtures that you see Turkish league giving you a little bit of less goals. But when it comes to Turkish league, they are always fundamental scoring goals.
Galatasaray sits tops with 6 wins from 7 games, pulling just 1 draw, closely followed by Fenerbahce, who sits second with 16 points. Jose Mourinho was again yellow carded over the weekend. What was his offense? He had a laptop in front of a TV set to which he was viewing the game, and that didn't go down well with the video assistant referee. Mourinho, always a controversial week in, week out, and the fans as well as the journalists love him.
He's a sellable product when it comes to when you're talking about economics. He's a sellable product. You understand? Mourinho, in anywhere you find Jose Mourinho, he tries to give the fans the feel of football. He tried to get your adrenaline into the next level, and it was really really sad for the yellow card. But you know, Jose Mourinho, he has done it everywhere he has been to, in FC Porto, in English league, in Spanish league. He has been there, so it's not a new thing for Jose Mourinho to create a lot of shenanigans when it comes to football.
Absolutely. Samsunspor is third on the log, while the fourth position is occupied by no other but Besiktas. We continue to keep track on the Turkish Super League, and now we go to the biggest league of them all, the most followed league, the most sellable league, the most loved league, and the league that is ranked #1 in Europe, and that is the English Premier League. Obrigado. Let's start from the early kickoff on Saturday, where Manchester City were held away from home by a stubborn Newcastle United. It seems Arsenal have shown other teams how to get the result of Manchester City. Disappointing, I must say.
I told you earlier enough. I say early kickoff are always fundamental. They are trickish game, and Manchester City, I saw fatigue in them. I told you that at St. James Park, this is one of the stadiums that can hold Manchester City. So it wasn't a disappointing game, because I really understood that that game is a very trickish game, and that was the result. Arsenal Football Club against Leicester City, I told you, is a walkover, though it was trying to be stretched into the level of pandemonium. But
people says that a referee did Arsenal good in that game. Almost a 9-minute extra time, Arsenal played where Kai Havertz to score the last goal for Arsenal, bringing the game to a 4-2 win for Arsenal.
The 9 minutes was justified because of a lot of stop play. Leicester City, we are trying to play a lot of mind games when it comes to getting the result done.
At one point, it was 2-2.
Definitely, that's what I'm saying. They have to, after the draw, they have to try to stop a play, stop the play. So they have to add the 9 minutes. So Arsenal, they were on high pressing form because they know that result, they needed that result. So it's really a good game for Arsenal, definitely.
All right, let's look at one team that actually played a fantastic football and they got the result. Chelsea. It seems that Chelsea is born again. Chelsea is looking good. Chelsea is looking like a team that will make the top 4. Cole Palmer, the cold one, struck again, becoming the first and the only player in the history of the English Premier League to score 4 goals in the first half. The fastest and the only player. No other player have done that. And it came against, should I call them high flying? Of course not. Should I call them stubborn? Yes. Brighton and Albion. Chelsea showed class.
Cole Palmer. Is like a hybrid when it comes to football. It is a difficult moment when I try praising English players. You know me, I don't like English players, but because of the way their media try to hype their player. But this guy is an exceptional talent. He's a multi-faceted talent. Cole Palmer is the song now on football, because that game was really thrilling. The free kick was absolutely expertise on the highest level of football. That guy is a gem, I'm telling you. And Chelsea Football Club, their coach is doing a great job. A short period of time, he's a humble coach. Follow the process, you understand the structure and the style of play, you get them going. Look at Jadon Sancho, where Manchester United said Sancho cannot be able to play. Look at what he's doing miracles and wonders in Chelsea Football Club. They are the best team now to watch. In the next 2-3 seasons, Chelsea Football Club will dominate the league. What they need now is just a high profile defender that's of an age, that's coming to maturity, and is good CDM that can control the tempo of the game. That's all. Chelsea will fly.
CDM for Chelsea.
They need a CDM.
With Enzo Fernandez?
No.
With Romelu Lavia?
They don't it's not about the name. I'm talking about CDM that can control the game. If you watch the game,
CDM, you are talking about a central defensive midfielder.
Yes, an economical player. Those players, they lose the ball a lot. They give a lot of process. I'm talking about somebody that can be able to hold up play.
In the caliber of Claude Makelele,
Rodri, N'Golo Kante, Rodri. We are talking about Cruz that is now retired. Busquets
for Chelsea, the Mikel in Chelsea.
Not this Chelsea. Chelsea is not playing that kind of football.
Oh wow!
This is the Chelsea that is playing one of the best football in their history. without a fact, this Chelsea team, I've never seen a Chelsea team playing such highly when it comes to EPL. Watch their games. I'm telling you, they play sexy football. Panda, they send their fans into opera. I'm telling you, the football Chelsea play makes you fall in love with Chelsea. I'm not when it comes to Chelsea, I don't love them. You know, I criticize them, but this season I'm in love with Chelsea.
You are in love with Chelsea. You look at Liverpool, they had to leave it later to pick up a 2-1 winner over Wolverhampton Wanderers over the weekend. And as for Ipswich, they decided to fight to the end, getting a 2-2 draw off Unai Emery's Aston Villa's side. And now we come to the big one. It was supposed to be a Super Sunday, but it was a shameful Sunday for Manchester United. 3-0 they lost against Tottenham Hotspur, and Captain Bruno Fernandes was shown a straight red card for a high foot. Deservedly, if you ask me. And ever since, the team fell apart like a pack of cards. Kobe Mainoo out injured. Mason Mount, who was brought in the first half, was substituted. In the second half, he picked up a injury. But then, Manchester United. What's going on with this team?
How are the mighty fallen? This is Manchester United, an institution when it comes to English football. This is a mighty club that in world football, they have been able to inflict their level of legacy in world football in the round ladder game. They have fallen into the pecking order. They need to be resurrected. Manchester United, to me, they need Jesus. I'm telling you, because this football is, I think there are a lot to play when it comes to Manchester United. A lot going down in that club. I'm talking about the club that doesn't have structure when it comes to the style of play from the manager. I feel emotional when I talk about Manchester United, because this is one of the club that takes, like, I followed through when I was growing up. This is a club that's given me so much joy, and they have fallen into the pecking order, whereby I don't see them coming out from that pecking order in due time. Manchester United need to be liberated, and I don't know what is going to happen to them. It's really saddening that I keep telling you a year ago that Manchester United, Bruno Fernandes, one is our major problem. You guys refuse to listen to me. I said, when you have a team that your most creative midfielder loses the ball so much, that is the highest losses of the ball as a player in the EPL. Go and check it. Bruno Fernandes loses the ball and is our most creative midfielder. That is a problem for Manchester United. And the coach has a stubborn root. There's no pattern, no style of play in the club.
3 years, no identity.
What are you
trying to say? The likes of Chelsea with Enzo Maresca, you can at least understand the kind of footballer Chelsea is playing. So pleasant and delightful to the eyes. You look at teams like Olympique Marseille in the French league. You look at teams like Barcelona, despite the defeat, you can at least see that the team is doing well. But for Manchester United, Erik ten Hag says, trust the process.
What is that guy doing to hold up Manchester United? If it's Nigeria now, we'll say this guy is doing using juju or something, because I really don't understand whereby you play such shameful football without a style of play. Manchester United play like a League Two club. What are you telling me? No, this is really saddening. Like I'm pained.
I can see the pain all over you, and as well as our viewers, they can see that you are not a happy man. Up next for Manchester United is a trip to go take on a Portugal giant FC Porto in the Europa League, and then they will return to play Aston Villa in the EPL. Baptism of fire, if you ask me, for Manchester United and for a certain Erik ten Hag. As for the EPL table, Liverpool sits at the summit, surprisingly, and then we have a Manchester City following on the heels of Liverpool. Arsenal come third, and Chelsea is gallantly seated on the 4th position. Obrigado. Let's move over now to the Spanish La Liga, as our timer is fast running. Over the weekend, we saw Osasuna inflicted Barcelona first defeat of the season. 4-2. It ended with Hansi Flick losing his first game. People faulted him for benching his top two star players in the person of Yamin Lamar, and of course the other, even though other people can say he might not be the best for Barcelona at the moment. But the honeymoon has ended for Barcelona.
Definitely. You know, fatigue is already there in play. For you to
play.
No,
just 6 games.
Those are young players. They should
have the energy.
No, not energy. for you to have a lot of level of standard when it comes to playing
and play at its peak all the time,
you need to be fit, absolutely fit, physically fit. These are young players that they cannot be able to even complete a game. 18-year-old, 19-year-old, 20-year-old, how do you think that they are going to meet up the level of the fixtures that are in play when it comes to football? The fixtures is cumbersome. They cannot be able to meet up. So he's just trying to be considerate because he has a lot of injury in this team. Go and check. Barcelona have one of the highest injury when it comes to Spanish La Liga. So he needs to manage his team. So for me, that was the best decision, though he didn't play well, but it's just absolutely right for him to rest a lot of players so that they can be able to be fresh for the Champions League.
And it cost him a game.
Definitely, but they are sitting there at the table, so it's still an opportunity for it to be corrected.
As for Real Madrid, they couldn't take advantage of Barcelona dropping 3 points. They played out a 1-1 draw against Atletico Madrid, a high-profile game which we usually refer to as the Madrid Derby. But then something happened before the game. It was stopped for 20 minutes as there were some issues around the game before kickoff. Can you talk us through the game, Brigado?
Definitely, it was a thrilling game, an absolute fantastic game, though the first half was boring. Atletico Madrid sitting deep always. When it comes to their football style of play, is very boring. Madrid taking the bull by the horn, attacking and getting the goal. And as of that 70 something minutes in play, after the goal, Courtois was trying to, like, you understand, jerk the fans, try to trigger the fans. Then they got angry and the stadium was in a mess, and they started throwing a lot of tantrums, throwing a lot of things into the stadium.
That an object was thrown to the Real Madrid goalkeeper.
Definitely, yes, the object was thrown. That's what I'm trying to put in play. Definitely, the fans were so angry because Thibaut Courtois was their former player, and he was trying to taunt them because they were winning. So the coach of Atletico Madrid was trying to plead to the fans, giving them, say, please just hold on. Koke was saying, just please stop throwing it, stop throwing it. So they had to just stop the play because it cannot go on like that. A big game like that is shameful, disappointing, and I really want the Spanish La Liga to go into books and fish out those people and give them a ban. If not, just give them a ban. A high level football match like that, you behave like that as if you're playing in a low cadre league. No, it's really, really shameful.
When it comes to Atletico Madrid, their fans are known to be one of the most troublesome sets of fans in Europe as well as in the La Liga. But the game between Manchester United and Tottenham over the weekend, there was a report of some homophobic chant directed towards the Tottenham players as well as their fans. We will leave the FAs to do their investigation and tell us the next punishment, or better still, the next result or whatever they might come up with after the investigation, and then we'll know the action that we follow. And then we'll move over now to the German Bundesliga, where over the weekend we saw the Bayern derby between Bayern Munich and Bayern Leverkusen. Yet again, Victor Boniface wasn't among the goal scorers, or did he assisted any goals, but his contribution in that game was superb. As well as Bayern Munich, 1-1 it ended. No victor, no vanquish.
No, definitely the game was thrilling, exciting, and you know Xabi Alonso playing against his former club. Last season, that's the same result. They drew the match last season, so it was really a fantastic game. So I was really expecting that game to go into that and more goal scoring in more goal scoring in that game. But it was really thrilling, and definitely Victor Boniface was really impactful. And it's a strong game. It's not just a game. That's a Bayern Munich we're talking about. So getting a draw at that stadium, Allianz Arena, it's really a very big point for Bayer Leverkusen, definitely.
Yet it seems Bayern Munich, they want to play the unbeaten this season, even though the results have been neither here nor there for Bayern Munich. And as for Bayern Leverkusen, they are doing all they can to pick up themselves following that defeat a couple of weeks ago. It will remain a fight to the finish. And now let's come back to the Italian Serie A, where Juventus are not giving up anytime soon. Dusan Vlahovic with a brace over the weekend. 3-0. They won their opponent, and they are yet to concede a goal this season. But what a revelation. Napoli, seated at the summit of the Serie A. It seems that no Victor Osimhen, but they are getting the job done.
What do you expect? Anthony Conte, he understands the league, the man that knows the parameter of the Italian league. He has been there before, so this is not the first time. I'm not shocked that Napoli is doing fantastically well in that league, because they have Lukaku. They played the same role. He has played with Anthony Conte for a long period of time. He understands the style of play, the pattern of play, how to hold up play, how to integrate other players into the attack. So it's really a fantastic game. But the league is still fresh. That league is very competitive this season. A lot of teams are causing havoc into the bigger teams, so it's not really going to be as smooth as it used to be. So those who are consistent enough to be in their particular high profile form, we can deliver the league. But definitely at the weekend, Napoli was flying, and Vlahovic was really flying at Juventus. And I told you about Thiago Motta, his pattern of play, his style of play. Remember when I told you that Thiago Motta is going to be a next revelation when it comes to the Italian league, and watch out for Thiago Motta this season.
3-0, AC Milan defeated Lecce, and as for Inter Milan, they had to scrap a 3-goal win over Udinese. But again, Atalanta against Bologna, it ended 1-1. It seems that the season might not be high flying as people thought for Atalanta Football Club. They are not getting the results, and they are also not looking good in the league table. Looking at where Atalanta currently are seated, they are seated somewhere at the 12th position, the 12th avenue, such as Manchester United.
They sold one of their most important players, the Netherlands player, Kempers. They sold him, the Koopmeiners. They sold him to Juventus. No replacement. What do you expect? You cannot do magic when it comes to these things. When you sell your important player, you replace them. And I don't fault Atlanta. They are selling clubs. They make money. They do business and football for business. They integrate younger players into their first team. Once they just get into limelight, they sell them, make more money. They buy in player £1 million. Same thing with Brighton. So, and they are doing more better because they are very competitive when it comes to the league and when it comes to Europe. So with time, in the next 10 games, they are going to peak, definitely.
Absolutely. As for Juventus, 9 goals are scored, no goals are conceded. Who will be the first player to break that jinx for Juventus, causing them to concede their first goal in the league? And then in the French Ligue 1, Brigado, it seems that PSG have decided to make that league theirs. The seat at the summit of the French League. 20 goals are scored, 5 goals conceded, 16 points. They have gotten 5 wins from 6 games with just 1 draw, no defeat. You look at Monaco, Marseille, and of course Brest, the teams that are closely chasing Paris Saint-Germain. Who will wrestle the trophy away from Paris Saint-Germain? Barcola and his team, they have been a revelation this season.
PSG are trying to prove a point when it comes to that league, because they
what point
a lot of people are thinking like Kylian Mbappe is the main revelation for PSG.
Oh wow.
So definitely the PSG as a whole, they are trying to prove a point that without Kylian Mbappe, we can still dominate this league. So it's a point for them to prove, and it's really a boost for other players to take into integration, take into maturity, take into the level whereby they can be able to assert responsibility into them. A player like Barcola and Dembele, even if he's having issues with the coach, and a lot of players, Lee and all those other players, Vitinha, you understand the responsibility is high and it's been diversified. So PSG, they are going to try to prove a point that without Kylian Mbappe, they are going to win the league.
No Kylian Mbappe, no Lionel Messi, no Neymar. Paris Saint-Germain under Luis Enrique wants to prove a point, according to Jeffrey, that they can do the job even without a recognized star player. Only time will tell. But as for me, other teams that are not living up to expectations, they are not giving Paris Saint-Germain a run for their money, just as Manchester City have been dominating the English Premier League. Only time will tell if at all these teams can actually get the trophy or wrestle it away from Paris Saint-Germain. As we get set to call it a day, let's come over now to boxing, as we hear that Anthony Joshua have been suspended in the world of boxing. The report as to why it was suspended has not really been been authenticated in terms of being solidified that this is the reason why he has been suspended. But what we know is that we might not be seeing Anthony Joshua on our screen anytime soon.
What do you expect? I told you that Dubois was really mesmerizing. It was catastrophic when it comes to the kind of blow he has been merging on Anthony Joshua. So you have what I heard and what I saw and what I read was like Anthony Joshua suffered a KO and the knockout. That punch was absolutely out of this world. So it's really for the medical purpose that Anthony Joshua shouldn't fight again for the main time, so that he cannot be able to suffer a cardiac arrest when it comes to the kind of blow and punches he received against Dubois. So it's really good, and you know this when it comes to sports, they try to manage a lot of things when it comes to sport.
Absolutely.
They don't just do because this is my person, they want him to just go make. No, they go for the health. They check up the health first. Health is wealth. So they try to make sure that every athlete is physically fit and ready to go into battle in any part of sport.
He was given some momentary ban, asking him to step aside in the world of boxing. Perhaps his tantrum and theatrics he had in the ring during the fight between himself and Daniel Dubois was the reason why he had to be stepped aside. And finally, we move over now to tennis, where we had Carlos Alcaraz has recorded his 200 victory in the world tour, not the Grand Slam, but over the weekend it was absolutely phenomenal, and we must give kudos to Carlos Alcaraz,
a young genius, and it's really deserving, because I enjoy watching him playing tennis. So he's a young genius, so definitely he's really deserving, and it's a good one for him, and giving the boost to the younger generation into tennis, coming into tennis to prove a point and to get into the highest level and the highest peak.
And as for the likes of Jack Drapier, he was knocked out, or should we say he retired from the Japan Open over the weekend. And as for Kate Botia, another British hopeful, if she fell to Coco Gauff in the third round of the China Open. Unfortunately, this is where we will drop anchor on the show. Obrigado, Jeffrey. Always a pleasure when we talk sport together on Signature Television.
Thank you so much, and I will always be available when it comes to Signature Sport.
Absolutely. Do well to follow us on all our social media handle. Do well to like, share, and most importantly, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Until we come your way, same time, same station tomorrow, we want to tell you, keep watching and keep sharing and keep liking Signature Television. On behalf of Mr. Jeffrey and myself, we want to say we are done and we are gone. God bless, no stress.